Hey guys, so this video is an extremely difficult video for me to film. This is the second time doing this. The first time I was sobbing uncontrollably through the entire video. It was extremely painful to watch. I didn't feel comfortable posting that, so I'm trying again a few days later now that I've had some time to compose myself and just process what's been going on. And I just want to start off by saying that I wasn't sure, I'm still not even sure if I should be sharing this publicly. On one hand, it feels wrong, like it's something that's so personal and so raw for me. I don't really want to put it out there to a million people, but on the other hand, I made a promise to myself that I would be real with you guys. I'm not just going to sugarcoat my life and make everything seem like it's perfect and I'm happy all the time when something this devastating has happened to me. And right now, I will be honest with you, I am not doing well. I am not okay. I'm hopeful that I will be someday soon, but that's just not my reality. So I just decided that I'm gonna put this out there for better or for worse. The other thing I want to let you know is that I have decided to monetize this video and put ads on it, and 100% of any ad revenue generated from this I am donating to charity. And in my mind, that's just one way that I can take a really bad situation and turn it into a positive and put something good into the world from it. I will talk more about the charity and why I chose it later on in the video. But for now, I will just start by telling you what happened. And that is, I am currently 9 weeks pregnant. However, the baby passed away. The baby didn't make it. I'm just so heartbroken. I'm so devastated. It's not something that you ever expect. I told myself I would not be crying through this entire video. Okay, so I'm just gonna back up for a second and kind of explain what's been going on, because some of you will probably be confused, because not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago, I did a video called Update on Baby Number 2, where I shared that I didn't feel ready for a second baby yet. And that was totally true. I posted that video, and a few days later, I realized that my period was late, and I hadn't really been tracking it, so I wasn't that concerned. But just in case, I decided to take a pregnancy test. And I had an extra test from when I was pregnant with Carter, so something just told me to take the test. I took it, but it wasn't something I was that concerned with. I didn't think I was pregnant, so I left the test. I was hanging out with Carter, put him down for his nap, and hours later, I went back to check it, and there was a very faint line. And my initial reaction was, well, this test is old, it must be expired, and plus it's been hours since I took the test, so it's probably an evaporation line, this isn't accurate. So I didn't even think anything at that time. But as the day was going on, it was still on my mind, so I decided to take another test. And I remembered that I had a dollar store test, so I found that, took it, and there was a faint line. And that was the moment that it hit me, the realization hit me that I'm having another baby. And I didn't feel like I was ready, but when I saw that positive pregnancy test, I was so genuinely thrilled and excited and happy. That was my gut reaction. I felt like it was meant to be. It wasn't something that we had planned for. We weren't thinking we were going to start trying for several months, but we did want a second baby. So it was a very happy accident, and it was something that right away I was happy about, I was excited about. So later that day, I told Ryan, I even filmed it, which I'm not going to show that footage. It is really, really sad looking back on that, because he was even more excited than I was. He's wanted a second baby for a really long time now. For my second pregnancy, for whatever reason, Kaiser, who's my insurance provider, they only have you come in between 8 to 10 weeks. I do not see any doctor or have any appointment before 8 to 10 weeks. So they were able to fit me in right at 8 weeks for an appointment. And that was last week. I went in with Ryan. This is the appointment where you're able to see your baby and see the heartbeat and see that everything is well. And at this point, it's been 8 weeks. I have all of my pregnancy symptoms. I'm emotional. I'm hungry all the time. I'm already so big. I look like I'm about 12 to 15 weeks pregnant. I'm wearing maternity pants. I'm tired all the time. Like, I have all of the pregnancy symptoms. So then we get to the ultrasound, and Ryan is standing next to me. She sets up the machine facing towards her, and it's a vaginal ultrasound. So she puts it in and she's looking around for the baby, and she's looking and looking and she doesn't say anything. And at that point is when I knew something was wrong. Like, why is she not saying anything? What's wrong? I've been through this before with Carter. You could see the baby right away. You could see the heartbeat. And so she turns off the machine and she leaves the room. And I just knew something was very wrong and I lost it. I completely was in hysterics. I don't even really remember what happened past that point because I was just a complete mess. And she came back in and she says to me, is there any way that your dates are off, that you're very early? And I knew there was no way for my dates to be that far off. So the baby didn't make it. The baby did not survive. And it's just the most heartbreaking, devastating thing to hear. I'm still not fully over it. I feel like I'm mourning the loss of this baby and of the life that I was picturing for myself. She had told me that there was probably a chromosome issue. What this is called is a missed miscarriage. My body hasn't yet realized that there's no longer a baby to support and I'm still pregnant. I still am producing those hormones. Although I will say in the past several days, every symptom has started to fade away and disappear. So one by one, my symptoms started going away. So I think even if I wouldn't have had the ultrasound by this point, I would know that something was wrong because I no longer feel pregnant. I still kind of look pregnant and I still technically am, but all of my symptoms are gone. And I just want to say, because I know some people out there watching are going to criticize me and say that I'm being really dramatic and I'm being sad over nothing. The baby was so young. It's not a big deal. But unless you have been pregnant, you do not understand the moment you find out you're pregnant, your entire life, your world changes. My identity changes, your habits change, the way you picture your life and visualize your life. But right away, I felt such a strong connection with this baby. And in my mind, I felt like it was meant to be. The way it all happened, it just felt really right. I really wanted this baby and I'm just so sad. So I think the hardest part about this entire situation is that I am in limbo. I'm still currently pregnant, but I'm not carrying a live, healthy baby. My body doesn't know. So I have some choices to make. None of them are good choices. I can either wait for my body to naturally miscarry the baby, which is not something I honestly want to do. I've looked into it, and from what I've read, it could be very traumatic, very painful experience. So the option that I'm going with is a surgery where they go in and they remove everything from your uterus. It's called a D&C. And for me, that's just something where I can do it, I can have closure, and I can move on. At this moment, I feel depressed. I just feel sad. I don't have a lot of motivation. I just want to be in bed and I just want this to be over. So I know this is something, it happens to women. It's more common than you think, but it's not something that I've seen that many people, especially here on YouTube, talk about. So that's another reason I wanted to put it out there, because if you've been through this, I want you to know that you're not alone. And I'm also putting this out there so I don't feel so alone, because I know there's probably people out there watching who can relate to this and who understand the pain. So that is my life update. I am not looking forward to sharing this video, but it's just something I felt that I couldn't pretend like this wasn't happening. I couldn't just move on with my channel and making videos like normal. I know I will be okay. That day is not today. I'm just kind of letting myself feel how I feel. Thank you guys for listening and for being so supportive. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I am donating any ad revenue to an organization called the Cade Foundation, and they help support women who are having fertility issues and cannot afford treatment. I will leave more information about them down in the description box if you want to check them out. As far as my channel goes and what I'm going to do moving forward, I don't know. I'm taking things day by day. I'm gonna have this procedure hopefully next week. I do have a video that I pre-filmed a couple weeks ago that I will try to edit and have up for you guys next week. And then from there, I don't know. I know that I will be okay and I'll bounce back from this, but just right now, I'm just going through a little bit of a hard time. So I hope you guys can understand that. And thanks for listening. Thanks for being there for me. And I will see you soon.